After the photo shoot, you transfer the photos onto your computer and you start selecting them. We want to choose only the ones that actually work to deliver to the client. Anything else that has some sort of flaw, we're going to delete. So we look at the different options that we have of one same photo. This one we know we don't want, so we just go ahead and delete it. Between these two, I think this one's a little better, so I'm going to delete it. Between these two, the first one is better, so I'm going to delete this. And now these two. Here we can see the baby a little bit better, but over here we see a more complete image and he has a better expression, so I'm going to keep the second one. Out of these two, I think the first one might be better because we can crop out this AC thing. And this one's slightly blurry, so I'm going to keep the second one. I mean the first one. The first one is slightly more centered, so I'm going to delete the second one. This one isn't really worth anything, especially compared to the first one I already have over here, so I'm going to delete it. I think this one might be better because we can see the book he's holding. This one's kind of ugly, so I'm just going to delete it. I don't really like these photos, but it was the only thing I was able to capture from the moment where the priest rubbed something on his forehead, so I have to keep them. The light was really shitty in this one, like the event. Well, definitely have to keep the first one. This one I would keep, but it's really blurry, so this one's worthless. This one I like their expressions, but here we can see what she's actually doing. Let's see. Maybe this one's a little better because their expressions are a little better, like the first one. And we can see what the baby was like in that moment. He was really fighting it in the moment. So yeah, I'm gonna keep the last one. I'm gonna delete this. This one's nice. Worthless. This one's a little dark, but we can work with that. Here I was trying to get the the objects he was using, but I had better photos of that later on, so I'm gonna delete all of these. I like this one, so I'm gonna keep that. We only have these two photos to choose from, so let's see. I think this one's a little bit sharper, so I'm gonna keep that. Delete. We don't like his expression there, or there, or there. Definitely not. Here I was also trying to see if I could get some photos of the objects they were using, but I didn't like it, so I'm just gonna delete all of this. I took a ton of photos of the moment the baby was being actually baptized with the water, so let's see. No. No. This one could be, but I think maybe one where we can see the drops going down might be better. This one's really sharp though, so I'm gonna consider it. No. No. I'm gonna keep these. Mm. Okay, this one's really blurry, so no. I don't think these are really important, so I'm just gonna delete them. They're drying his head. Also not important. Here they're praying, but I got better shots of them together later. Let's see. Yeah, I think we have better shots of them in here. So I'm gonna keep just one because I'm not sure if it's unimportant enough to remove it, but let's see. This one could be. This one has more stuff in the background, so the first one's better. We can see the baby better in here, but the guy has his eyes open. Maybe we don't want that. Let's see between these. I think I'm gonna keep the second one. This one's alright, but in here we can see more clearly that the priest is rubbing something on his forehead, so I think maybe the second one is better. And out of these two, well, here he's not doing anything, so let's delete that, but I'm not sure if to keep this as well as the second one. I think we can keep both. Putting the little head on. Was he already wearing the hat before? Yeah, he was. So I don't think this part is particularly important, so I'm just gonna delete it. This is one of the few images where he's smiling, so I'm gonna keep that to consider later. I think the first one was the best one. This one's really blurry, so bye. This one's nice and sharp. Maybe I can combine another image to make the flame a little bit better too. Here we can see the baby's arm, so I think I like that better than the first one. Here everyone's looking at the candle. That's a good thing. Over here, I could more easily get rid of this thing in the wall. And we can see Melida's belly more clearly. This might be a good thing. I think I'm gonna keep two of these. Maybe, or actually no, I already have this one, so I think two might be too much. I think we should keep one of these ones where we can see her belly. So which one? Maybe this one because the guy is looking at the candle as well. And we can see the baby's face a little bit more clearly. I think I'm gonna keep that one. This one's blurry. And here I was trying to see if I could get something where it would be just the three of them without their godparents on the side, but I don't think I can crop them out. think the second one's nicer. Worthless. I'm not sure exactly how important that part is, where the mother was carrying the baby and then later on it was the father. I think maybe the one where she's actually carrying him is more important than the transition. Let's keep one of the vertical ones instead. That's nice. Here we can see his head, so gone. I'm going to delete these. That one, he had his eyes almost closed in that one, so this one isn't great, but in this one, the baby's arm is covering the godfather's face, and here the godmother's hand is a little bit blurry. But I think it's more important to see the guy's face, so unless maybe I can combine them. Yeah, that will be too much work. I'm gonna keep the second one. Baby crying. Let's see. A lot of those three, I think the first one is the best. I'm not sure I should keep it at all, but I'm gonna leave it there for now. I'm actually not sure what that was. They were blessing them with a little rose. Isn't that a focus? First one is sharper. Baby's looking at him like, what's up, bro? That one's nice. Too blurry. They're also too blurry. This one has better colors, but I don't think it really matters. But it also has less stuff in the background, so I'm gonna keep that one. We don't like that one's face, so that one's, I didn't realize at the moment, but I was cropping out the holy figures in the back, so I'm not gonna keep that. Now one of these two. This one has a little bit less light over here, which is a good thing so that I can edit this to be a little more noticeable. So I'm going to delete the first one. And I didn't really like these. They seemed a little pointless to me, but I think this time maybe it should be one where we can see a little bit more of their bodies. Just a matter of deciding how much. I think this one's alright. Here's one of the pictures that I was talking about of the objects he was using. First one is definitely better. Godfather wasn't looking at me in any of these, so I'm going to delete it. I imagine they want to be able to see the Holy Mary. Baby isn't looking at me here. And here he's not looking at me either, but his eyes are a little better. This one, the Godfather, has his lips weird. I think I'm gonna keep the second one. I don't think I need any of these. Godfather has his mouth open here. Baby's looking directly at me in the second one, so I'm gonna keep that. These were candid photos that I took in the moment, so let's see if any of them are salvageable. I think this one is the sharpest one and they're centered. But over here we can see the Christ a little better. I'm not gonna keep this one or this one, but one of these two. I think the pose is better in the second one. There. Baby crying. I'm gonna delete all of these because they're too close. Hands. All these have hands. First one's better, so let's just go ahead and remove it. You can see the baby's hand in this one. His expression is a little bit better in the second one. Let's see the rest of them. Well, this one here is better than that one, so I'm gonna delete it. Between these two, second one is better. Second one. Maybe I could combine baby's arm from this one over here, but I'm not sure it's worth it. I'm just gonna keep the other one. Now let's take a look at these. That one's nice. Look at this. This one's a little bit sharper. It's looking away, so get rid of it. Here Alex was trying to get baby Wyman to look like he was praying, but he wasn't really playing along, so I think it might actually be better to have one of the pictures where Alex is posing him. Like, could have some symbolism there. And we can't see the baby's face crying. So let's see, this one or this one? I think I'll keep the second one. Remove all of these. This one's too bright, it was a test shot. All of these are tests. Also a test. Test. Too bright. We were finally getting sharper shots since we had better lighting outside. Let's see if we can find one where the baby isn't crying. Or at least not looking at bad. The godmother was pointing at me, so these might still be a little too bright. This is weird, so get rid of that. Baby crying. Crying. He's looking away. The godmother has her eyes closed. Here Melly isn't looking at me. Everyone's looking away in one of the photos. I think that one's the best one. This one's the sharper one. Let's get rid of these two. I'm gonna keep the little one. I think these first ones might have been tests. Let me see. I think they'll look alright. There isn't really much difference between these two, so. Let's see their faces. Godmother has her eyes closed, so. Everyone looks right here. There are some blemishes in here, but those can be removed easily. You can see the cross more easily in this one. Godfather is smiling, even though he's not looking at me. Here he is looking at me. So let's get rid of these two. I think the last one's the best one. This was a candid shot. I was only able to take one, so I'm gonna keep that. All these were tests. He's crying. I'm gonna start going backwards. I think the best one is the last one out of these. Now with their son, let's also start backwards. The son is looking at the baby, and I think that's nice. I'm not gonna keep this one because the Godfather wasn't looking at me. This one might be it, but let's see if we can find one where the baby isn't crying that bad. Personally, I like the guy looking at the baby better, but I know they expect one where he's looking at the camera as well, so I'm gonna keep both. Crying. It's blurry. So blurry. That one's a lot better. Millie's eyes are weird. Let's see. Baby looks better in here. Millie's smile looks a little more natural, I think. I like the cropping over here, but we can do the same thing with this one too. So I'm gonna keep the second one. Same thing here. I'm just gonna delete these two. These were test shots, too bright. Too bright. It was nice. Let's see, let's work backwards. Here we can see I'm actually touching the water, so it's better. It has some burnout over here. And this one doesn't, but here we can see ripples. Let's check out the others. Too bright. I like how he's looking at the camera in this one. This one's a little bit sharper. I like the ripples here, but the non-burnout over here. I'm just gonna keep the second one. I mean the first one. Too blurry. This is nice. Baby's looking at Alex's hand. I'm gonna keep the second one where I think this one might be the best one since the baby's also looking at his hand so we can see some interaction. Now one with Millie. They insisted on looking at the camera, but I kept telling them to look into the water. So probably none of these. I told Millie to touch the water, but she wasn't really in view. I would have changed my angle, but there was a table in the way. This one would be nice, but it's too bright. I don't know if it's fixable or if it's complete burnout. Let's see the other one. No, this I can work with. I'm gonna consider this one. Separate it. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of all these. Alex's eyes are closed. This one would be nice, but I don't really like Melly being the only one that's looking at me, so I'm just gonna get rid of these as well. Okay, let's square up again. Test. Test. I like the second one better, but I cropped it Millie's arm over here. At least I could compensate it a little bit. However, the lighting is better in the second one. I think even though I cropped her hand, I'm gonna keep this one and I'll just try to fix this later. Here she's looking at his lips, I think. Here she's looking at his eyes. So, first one. Can't really see a difference between these two. First one has better lighting. This one is clearly over here, but this was a little bit out of focus, but it can be fixed. This one's blurry. I think the first one is the best one. Let's see these. I think they're not really going to be that great. I don't like any of these, so I'm just going to get rid of it. Lighting is a little bit better in the first one. It was nice. I can probably edit this out. Probably better than this one too. I kind of liked these things, sort of framing them, but I like the other one better. Lighting is great in the first one, so I'll keep that. Crying. Let's work backwards. Too bright, but it could be fixed. The other one's alright. Lighting is a little bit better in the first one, I think. Might have a little bit of a burnout though, so I'm just gonna work the other one. I think that was alright, so I'm just gonna get rid of this. Crying, crying, crying. Let's see. bright, but this is an excellent shot, so I'm gonna see if I can work with it. Mostly because of his face. Let's work backwards again. Maybe it looks weird. I told Melly to kiss her baby Wyman's head. She looks more like she's sniffing his hair. I think it's alright anyway. However, his face looks better in the first one. And we can see Melly smiling for real, so that one might be the best one, even though I'm gonna check these anyway. I'm gonna keep this one just in case, but probably only gonna edit that one. This one is just in case this one happens to be too burnt out. Here, Alex was playing with the baby, but it's too blurry. Too blurry. Too dark. This one looks good, just gotta make sure it's properly focused. Might have focused on the door instead. I'm gonna keep this one here. Ooh, this one is a lot more in focus. I'm gonna keep that. This one would be a great shot, but the baby's face looks weird. So I'm gonna keep this and see if I can edit another face into it. Actually, this one is a little bit better. You notice this one has sharper feet, but the other one's pose is just a little bit more natural. But then it cuts in the hand. I'm just gonna keep the other one. The other one's no. This one already started crying. I'm gonna edit this face into this photo. So let's get rid of this. Too dark. This one's cute. Maybe we can fix the lighting. You can see his food on his mouth, so not looking at me. He's looking at me, but the face is weird because he was chewing. Okay, let's see between these two. This one's a lot cuter, so I'll delete this. We were trying to get a shot, but he wasn't cooperating, so let's see. This was more or less what I was trying to frame, but oh, baby is not very cooperative, so I think I'm gonna keep the first one and try to just make his eyebrows a little more relaxed so he doesn't look like he's crying. Or maybe I can edit them together. Although it'll be a pain in the ass because it's a little bit blurry. Might just not be worth it. I'm not gonna keep any of these two. Right, that's all the photos. Let's see, how many are these? These are 59 photos. Some of these are gonna get removed anyway, so I think that's alright.